Hello. This is a human. And I'm just reading some things. This is like audio. If you ever want to listen to a fan-made species of xenomorph, then you have this to listen to. No, you can't. The screen's dark, so nothing to see other than maybe bubbles that might add to the screen later for entertainment, because you obviously want to waste your life watching bubbles for the next God knows how many minutes. So yeah, if you want to listen to me ramble about Zens, well then stay with me. Um, to start, Zens are a type of egglomorph species, and the basis of how egglomorphs happened were that a group of three scientists wanted to make a less hostile version of the xenomorph, and so they succeeded, but they made a mistake in the genome and accidentally ectomorphed them, thus the name egglomorph. Ectomorph is where there's like, I think the gist of the term ectomorph is where there's a lot of different subspecies of like something. I think maybe like, let's say multiple different kinds of elephant species. I don't but they're all elephants. I think that's what ectomorph is, but ectomorphing, but I don't know what it is. You're gonna have to look it up. It's just I'm going on something I looked up a long time ago. But anyways, um, Zens happen to be a desert loving creature. It loves the heat and it loves fire. It loves fire. It will bathe in it and it hates the cold. It hates the cold. Um, Zens are tan, 7 feet tall, and they have markings kind of like tigers, but not like tigers. I don't know how to describe them. Like tigers and cheetahs at the same time. And they are, their head looks like a crest with like three, think of the xenomorph queen, think of the xenomorph queen, but if it was a smaller head, rounder, and the crest was more back and narrowed. I don't have a. Oh, here. If you could see the screen, it kind of looks like this. Sorry about it being fuzzy. That's the image. I don't know why I was trying to describe it, but the screen is dark again. um, that was I showed you what the male species looked like. The male species has patterns, and the female species does not have patterns. Um, let's see. The region and temperature. Zens are a type of egglomorph that live in hot deserts of sage. The hot deserts of sage are on the planet Lavender Vion DB Fae, or just DB Fae for short. They bathe in the hot climate weather, which is we just said already, and they can sometimes be found chilling in fires. Chilling in fires. Ah, yes, using the cold word for explaining hot behavior. I'm sorry. uh, both fires on purpose and accidental, so they'd just be chilling in both kinds of fires. The ones on purpose and accidental. Habitat. The habitat is in the desert, obviously, and they make these sandstone resin structures that are designed so you can parkour anywhere, any part. Steep walls are and not straight, thick bricks, tall buildings, etc. Like you can get anywhere if you're a good parkourist. There's no place like try not to parkour somewhere. So that would be like their habitat. They also have deep underground tunnels in case of emergencies and for storage, and a lot of their life is underground, but a lot of it is above ground. I say that because when they are young, they are born from an egg, but they don't need a host. They're just genetically non-hostile, so that would make sense why they wouldn't need third party to reproduce, because then that would make them kind of hostile. And so, when they're young and they are first born from an egg, they can't regulate their temperature, so they would get too hot if they're not underground. So they stay underground to regulate their temperature, as it's like the perfect temperature for them until they can regulate their body heat and they can go up again to the surface. And so, I will say, Zens are the more are pretty hostile in comparison to other egglomorphs, but overall generally not hostile. When they're very territorial, and that's where the hostility comes from. But the moment they leave their territory, they're like completely non-hostile, and they will not attack you, even if you attack them, unless you're really, really, really provoking them in a life or death situation, or harming something or someone they love, or threatening to harm their home. They don't like outsiders. They will attack you if you are in their territory. It doesn't matter who or what you are. They will attack you if you're into their territory. But if you're just on the edge of their territory, they won't do anything until you step foot over the rocks that they put around their territory that mark their land. And every couple of months, they move those rocks out a feet. Sorry, not a feet, a foot. And so you have this rapidly expanding space of 1 foot every couple of months, which is one day Zens will take over the entire desert of sage within the next maybe 100 decades, which is also known as a century. So then the village of sage, which is where Reblises live, which I will not get into today, they will one day have to fight the threat, because then they'll be territory against territory, and that will not be good. Let's see. Let's move on to their diet, because I've been going on a ramble. They eat omnivorously, eating a range of meat and cacti. They're able to eat meat by secreting Oh, hold up. I didn't talk about this yet. Egglomorphs, they can't eat meat without it having like going through a process. So you see, being genetically modified to be non-hostile, they can't eat meat because they'll go in anaphylactic shock. But there are egglomorphs that can eat nocturnal creatures, but not creatures that live during the day. And then there are ones that secrete juices to help with the quote-unquote day chemicals, which is chemicals on DBFA in non-nocturnal animals, and makes it deadly for egglomorphs when they consume those chemicals. But for some reason, they're not in nocturnal species. And, yeah, so I forgot to say that. Zens found a way to, eat the animals by separating the day chemicals from the animal in a process known as jerk beefing. I kid you not. They eat, jerk beefing is basically leaving the animal out to dry in a dark place, because apparently darkness gets rid of the chemical for some reason. I don't know. Haven't worked out that part yet. Yeah, let's just say that the darkness gets rid of that chemical because it just decomposes or something, and then since it's the desert, it'll just like turn the meat into beef jerky, thus jerk beefing. Let's see. The cacti on DBFA are very thick, so they eat cacti by nibbling a large hole in the side and then drinking the inner flesh by using their battery acid-like saliva to liquefy it. Oh, also, their blood is not acidic, but their saliva is. It's like battery acid. Do not get bitten by these guys. You will get a serious infection. It's unlikely that you'll get bit unless you're in their territory or just like fucking around with them, but, like, other than that, like, I mean, they're non-hostile out of their territory. I mean, I know I said that already, but you can literally walk up to these bitches and, like, pet them. but walk into their territory, try to pet them, and you'll turn into meat soup all over the sand. It's crazy, and they're supposed to be non-hostile, but they fight for they have a reason to fight. So that's what makes them non-hostile, because they don't just fight for no reason like them xenomorphs. Ingenuity. They developed a massive underground caverns, rooms, puzzles. The puzzles mostly were for fun and to teach the little Zens, or the young Zens, to be creative and have abstract thinking. This is around the time where, like, when they're born and they can't regulate their body heat, so they have all these fun stuff underground. And their eyes, yes, they have eyes. I keep forgetting. You're learning a little bit more about what they look like. So they have, like, visors over their head. I'm gonna show you that picture again. The male, they have that little visor thing, that's the female. And under that there's eyes, and the eyes don't develop until their body heat regulation does. So in the meantime, they're learning abstract thinking and creative ways to getting out of things without eyes. So that's a good thing to have. So when they can see, they can learn other things. So then when they cannot see again, like they're in a dark room, they could just use their teachings that they had when they were little. Where am I? Yes, eggs need the underground body temperature, like climate, to grow, about 80 to 90 degrees, and the temperature they also have, sorry, I can't read my own handwriting, they also have mechanisms that cool and or heat the air depending on what time of the season it was. It's they have holes that they can open and close in specific ways where it could heat up or warm the caverns. Kind of like air conditioning, but without electricity. So that's kind of cool. And this is all under their parkour city is what I'm going to call it now. Parkour city! And, like, that's probably, like, the go-to place for a predator to go to training course. Because, like, you can walk into their territory and walk out of it if you're alive. If you're alive once you walk back out, they won't go out of their territory to attack you. It's once you're out of their territory, they can attack you or they won't. So be perfect. Like, if a predator could use their fucking city, their fucking parkour city as a training course. Like, I'm gonna run into your city, I'm gonna parkour all over it, and I'm gonna make it out alive, and there's nothing you can do about it. The Zens are like, try me, bitch, and the predators go zip zap zoom zoom, probably almost gets killed in the process, but bloody, about a foot away from the rocks that mark their territory, but, like, the Zens won't do anything about it since they're not in their territory anymore. It's just like this whole, like, you're out of my territory now. I can't do anything. Let's see. Alright, I went through this already. They're compared to other types. Yeah, these are probably the only territorial species, or it's not species, type of egomorph. Other types, will let you just walk into their territory as long as you're not harming anybody or anything. Most of the time, the egomorphs as a whole generally won't attack you unless you attack them. And, that's just, like, one of the requirements of an egomorph is that, like, they're just, like, they're very, I will only attack you if you attack me. Alright, oh yeah, let's go to the Hunter's Guide, because that's actually, like, really interesting. I'll go to the back of this paper later. Oh yeah, there's more about traits and appearances too. I should probably get into that because I mean, they had that, like, I don't even know what you guys are imagining, so it's probably better than what I've drawn anyways. So I mean, a hunter's guide. Their weak points are their wrists, lower jaw, upper neck, and under the jaw. So those points are weak and fleshy. So if you can manage to shoot an arrow into those spots, or shoot into those spots, or stab or whatever, you can weaken them or slow them down enough to actually provoke some damage. Everywhere else is like really thick exoskeleton. You could probably compare them to a crab, with like ligaments that are long parts are hard and like hard and armory, and then the joints are fleshy. But the wrists and the neck are the fleshiest parts. And forget about their feet. They don't. They can't. They don't really have feet. They just have upper leg and lower leg. They just run. They also like run really fast, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so another hunter's guide. They taste like what they ate within the past week. So, I would recommend study/stalking the one that's eating well. Give it food anonymously, and then kill it by stabbing their brain from the lower jaw. Hey, wrist blades, duh. Best done outside their territory when they're less likely to stand their ground. So we already talked about how they won't really fight you unless you fight them outside, even outside their territory. Even then, they probably wouldn't attack you. But if it's a life or death situation, they will attack you. Catch them off guard always, and they are individually as strong as 4 xenomorphs. Yeah, they're like not to be messed with. Never take on a hive alone. That's why I'm saying, like, the Parkour City is a perfect training place for the fucking Yautja predator creatures, because like one individually is as strong as 4 xenomorphs. So like you have to really watch your step when you're parkouring. It's like if you can make it out of there alive, you're set for life with honor. And never take on a hive alone. And if you're fighting one accidentally, let's say you accidentally tripped and fell and you dropped whatever you were holding, and it accidentally hit a Zend in the head when they were not in their territory. Let's just say that. You're a clumsy dumb fuck. And so you're in the middle of the desert, and you accidentally threw something at their head when you were falling. And so now they are provoked. They will watch you, but they won't really attack you because they're not in their territory anymore. Play dead. They'll think you're dead and go away. Don't play dead on their turf. Run! Don't play dead while you're in their territory. Bitch, run! Get the fuck out of there! And Zend 101, you fucking cow! Like, bitch, get the fuck out of there! What do you think you're doing? I've been saving this one for last because I don't want to talk about it. But I think for those weird fucktards out there, they probably would like to know their reproduction. The way I said reproduction, holy fuck, I'm weirdo. Well, so what it is that I can't put it into words. So here, let me pull up r/teehee for on you. Yeah. Thanks. I hate it. Let me give you a better description of what they look like. They are sandy orange. Males have brown blotches on them. like a giraffe. But I did say they look like a tiger, but not really a tiger. Like a cheetah tiger, but they kind of look like a giraffe at the same time. But when it comes to their patterns, it depends on your genetics and who mated with who, to be honest. They also have three eye colors in which you can't see unless you look under their visors, and if you're curious, it's yellow, amber, or orangish red. Not counting albinos. Albinos can have like any color. They have sharp teeth because they're omnivorous, but they also have back molars for eating cactuses. They have like a saucer-looking tail. Like it's a long tail with a saucer at the end that's like razor sharp. They use that for various amounts of things. Maybe like pizza cutter. Pizza cutter tails, yeah. If I give you a visual of a Zend with a pizza cutter tail, it'd be great. Where was I? They also have three distinct pheromone organs on the end, which is basically like three purple dots. I don't know why there's orange and purple, but like, oh well. They have very powerful legs. I did say that we would talk about the running thing. Their strong suit is running. They can like run the speed of sound. They probably outrun Sonic if they try hard enough. You see them, they don't have joints in their feet because they don't have feet. It's just their calves and the other calves. I don't know the name too. The upper leg and the lower leg. Let's just say that. Okay. And so, I showed you the smoothed back crest formation on their head. The smooth designed to run really fast, so it's pushed back a lot to reduce drag. We gotta talk about they have more canine teeth than humans because they tend to have a lot of not planty things in the desert. And they have no toes. Because it's just upper leg and lower leg, and can easily toes can easily be ruined in these kind of speeds that they run. From pelvis down, they have both endoskeleton and exoskeleton for better running. They have deep red blood that shines crystal blue in a black light. Don't ask me how that's possible. It should look black in a black light, that deep red shit. But for some there's a chemical in it that makes it shine crystal blue. Your image of crystal blue is different to mine, so I'm gonna say very, very light blue in a black light. I mean, think of the color that copper makes when it's oxidized. It's like that pretty blue. So maybe there's copper in their blood, but that would mean the black light instantly rusts their blood, which doesn't make sense. But hey, this is a fantasy world, so anything I say goes. And so that's the basic rundown of Zens. This is really shittily put together because I was reading and talking at the same time. So I hope you enjoyed that shit. And so if that was a good thing to add to your Audible collection, well then tell me, and I'll make another one. I have something about skeeps in the making right now. They're also a type of egglomorph, and they're really cool. They're like wizards. So if you want to see wizard egglomorphs, or not see, more listen to, then let me know. So, peace out, motherfucker! The end!